there is no more compulsion, on reporting to work from office. They could be working from home and make sure that, that they deliver the results. Gone is the concept where organizations used to focus more or decide, on calculating what is the login time and what is the logout time, what is the number of hours that they put in work. But today, organizations are trying to be more realistic by focusing more on quality of work and how productive they are, what is that they are able to produce. So this is the focus as of today. And individual and team performance, you can see that individual and team performance continues to be on the top-notch priority of the organizations, and they are emphasizing more, because if you're working from home, there has to be some realistic goals set, some higher purpose goals set. So organizations are focusing on that. How many numbers? More precisely, they're focusing on the numbers, they're focusing on the outcome, they're focusing on the results, not on the number of hours that you put into work, but what is the result that you're delivering at the end of the day. So that is the whole idea of that is the whole idea of how today's organizations operate due to the pandemic. Now moving next to the next trend, reinventing the employee experience. So how can you reinvent the employee experience? According to a survey conducted by McKinsey & Company, which is an American management consulting organization, this is the response, and the responses are indicated in the form of percentages. Let me just turn on my laser pointer. 78% of employers indicate that their organization has responded to the crisis appropriately. 80% of them indicate that leadership has acted proactively to protect their health and safety. 77% indicate that they have the necessary information. Now, if you want to redesign the employees' journeys while measuring the virtual employee experience, it's extremely important for an organization, or more so for a HR professional, to not just improvise the employee experience at the work level, but also to improve the employee experience at the personal level of an employee. So, what will happen, or how can I, as an organization, improve the employee experience while my employee is working from home? Okay, so there are various ways in which mature employee experiences can be brought in. Some of those examples are definitely flexible remote working options, 360 pulse surveys. 360 pulse surveys is like you're trying to understand, every employee from every angle, not just from his professional front, but also from his personal front. What are the real pain points that an employee is facing at the organization level as well as at the personal level? You're trying to understand the employee thoroughly, not just from his work perspective, but also from his personal perspective. So when I'm talking about personal perspective, it is an indication towards an employee's emotional health, physical health, mental health, etc. Okay, assuring employee well-being, learning and skill development, employee self-portals, and many more. So you can see that organizations are actively encouraging and training their employees to use a lot of platforms, to use a lot of technology-oriented platforms, so that they can stay connected with the organization and more so with their clients. Giving them a training, giving them enough knowledge about how to go about and use these tools will definitely help the employees experience better at work, even while they're working from home. The third trend is online training and upskilling. Online training and upskilling is extremely important for organizations today because you see that since trends have changed, due to the pandemic, things have changed, the specifications of the organizations have changed. there is a more need for people to have digital skills. So all this while technical skills, of course, you had good enough edge over your own area of expertise that was more than enough for you to survive in your work, survive as a business. But today there is a need for you to get yourself improvised to the next augmented level, because with the usage of high-end technology, sophisticated technology, a lot of cloud-based computing technologies have come into picture. A lot of organizations are investing, crores of rupees in bringing in, digital tools, digital platforms, giving access of these digital platforms, incorporating artificial intelligence into the working of the organization. So all this will require some amount of technology oriented education. So making sure that these things become very much ingrained or become very much associated with the workforce, there is a need for organizations to train and upskill their employees. So this is how they're going to ensure that their employees or the workforce that they have can compete in the market or can help the organization compete in the marketplace. So why do we need this training and development opportunities? Why do they need to be trained? Why do they need to be developed? Okay, expand employee skill sets and enable them to take up challenging tasks. Improve employees' work efficiency and performance resulting in profitable gains. Build happy, satisfied teams that focus on customer retention and profitability. So unless and until you can have your employees satisfied, unless and until they are aware of the system, they cannot be in a better position to focus on how well they can retain their clients or how well they can satisfy their clientele base. Empower employees and keep them prepared for unannounced layoffs or replacement. So the moment you upskill your employees, the moment you train your employees, there would be no fear of unannounced layoff. There would be no shock of losing a job. Reduce attrition rate, increase engagement, and boost employee morale. Improve innovation in services and products of the company, outperform competitors in the industry. So these are the several reasons why online training and upskilling has become very important. Many organizations have tied up themselves with a lot of e-learning platforms, be it Coursera or Udemy or edX, etc. You can see that there are a lot of MOOC courses available online, starting from students to people who are working. Everybody is encouraged to get themselves upskilled by getting some kind of certification related to their area of specialization. So this is how, or this is the way in which people will be able to continue as productive workers. Taking a quick look at a report from McKinsey again, it stated that almost 90% of executives reported that they were currently experiencing a skills gap or would be soon. So whatever kind of graduates those are getting produced in the market, the kind of employability skills that the organizations are looking forward for is not really seen in the present, in the present batch of students who are getting graduated. That's because of a lot of reasons. Because one such reason could be, students are just getting acquainted with the syllabus. So you can see that universities of late, after the pandemic, a lot of changes. Even taking a look at the new education policy, a lot of changes have been made into the current education system. You can always see that an education institution offering a program would definitely have a value-added course. Would definitely have a value-added course that gives weightage to the program that a student is undertaking today. More emphasis is given to all these value-added courses of late, and all thanks to COVID. So that is one way how you could see that the trend is changing.
And HR professionals are more focusing on what are the different ways that they can upskill, that they can, what are the different ways in which HR professionals can upskill their employees. So one such tool, HR tool that you could be using is the skills gap analysis. Apart from that, there are other HR tools. It depends from organization to organization what HR tool you would prefer to use, but it's all your choice. Ultimately, at the end of the day, the agenda is to upskill your employees, is to train your employees. So let me mention a few HR tools that organizations are using in order to upskill and train their employees. The first one is, of course, learning and development. The second one is job enrichment. The third one is job rotation. And the last one is what is called as peer coaching and peer mentoring. So these are the different HR tools that organizations can be using in order to make sure that their employees get trained well and they acquire all the skills, knowledge, abilities that is required in the current context of work. Now, this is another statistics that we are looking at, that is given by Society for Human Resources Management. Taking a quick look at what are the responses given by the survey respondents from each industry. How do they find that the efforts in the training is actually what kind of efforts are given in the following kinds of training? So the first one is new technology equipment. You can see that physical knowledge in terms of service industry. So new technology equipment, you can see that the service industry is the highest. It is 36%. Cross-functional training emphasis is more given by service industry, which is 33%. Job-related skills is 27%. New product services is 22%. Professional soft skills, such as conflict management and communication. So this has happened after pandemic or during pandemic, or it will continue to be there even after the pandemic is over. More emphasis is given to physical knowledge and service industries in this chart. Leadership development is 15%. It has increased to 15% in service industry. Formal coaching, mentoring, 10%. So it's up by 11% when we're talking about knowledge industry. Educational assistance is 9%, which is related to service industry. So you can see that this is the actual statistics, the information that is taken from the latest research that happened in the year 2020. Moving to the next trend, employee well-being and mental health. So like I was talking about how much important is physical health, how much importance was given to physical health in the past. Even today, physical health is given importance, and at the same time, the mental health of the employees are also taken care of. So employee well-being will continue to be the top HR trends in 2021. Organizations are already rethinking holistic ways to recreate employee wellness programs and benefits, including physical wellness, mental health, flexible work schedules, childcare, elder care, paid time off, and more. According to a survey that was undertaken by MindBody, which is a SaaS organization which is into offering scheduling of fitness timings across the organizations who are into the wellness industry. They have done a research. It's an American-based organization. They have done a research and they have understood that every year, these fitness organizations could see an upward trend with just 30% of people getting enrolled to yoga classes. But after this pandemic from the year 2020, they're able to see that it has gone up by another 20%, where 50% of people, and all of them, a majority of whom are all employees working for organizations, they're getting themselves registered for these yoga classes, so that the main aim for them is to maintain a good mental peace and at the same time emphasizing on their physical wellness.
So you can see that employee well-being and mental health is something that is encouraged by organizations, and at the same time, at the individual level, at the employee level, employees are also paying much attention towards their physical well-being and mental well-being. And I would want to quote the words of the Chief Human Resources Officer of Bank of America, Mr. Shri Bronstein. He says that in their organization, they have started discussing about this mental health. It's not something to be hidden, he says. The stigma that is associated with mental health, he says, has to be removed. And they have their own management team, which is headed by the CEO of the organization, where they constantly meet their employees. They talk to their employees over virtual platforms, try to understand what is that they're going through, and at the same time give their perspectives as a management team, that what is that the organization is doing in terms of making sure that the overall, the holistic view of the employee's health, how is it taken care of. So in one of the reports, he has reportedly given a few information about what his organization is doing, what his management is doing in order to uphold the employee well-being across the organization. And also we have another Chief Human Resources Officer, Saurabh Govil, of Wipro Limited. He also says that being compassionate and being empathetic is no more a nicer thing, but today, after the pandemic, we have to make sure that this becomes the essential part of our lives. We need to understand what people are going through, try to be empathetic, and at the same time try to understand them from the ground level. See, because organizations have their own perspectives. They would be thinking that they are doing their best to help their employees to they would be under the presumption that they are doing everything to secure their employees in all ways, but the ground reality is something else. So he says that his organization has come down to that level, and they are constantly talking to people who are on the ground, who are a part of the supervisory level of the hierarchy of the organization. So these are some of the initiatives that you can see that unless and until the top level management leaders undertake, unless and until they come forward and they talk about such things, they are not going to make sure, or they're not going to give an assurance to their employees that yes, my organization, only you can make them feel that my organization is doing something only if you're communicating with them regularly. And these business leaders whose names I just mentioned, they have started sensing that this is very, very important at this point in time. It's important that we communicate with the employees our initiatives directly with them, rather than just passing on the information through the communication channel. It's always better when we address it to our employees directly. So that these are some of the ways how you can make sure that you retain your employees and you bring down the attrition rate. Okay, so this is another important trend that the HR professionals need to focus on. So this is another data that I have got from World Economic Forum. So according to them, so this is the question which is based on how much have you experienced each of the following as a result of COVID-19 pandemic. So this was conducted, so the survey was conducted at the global level, and this was given by the employees across the globe. Okay, not taking you through all the percentages, but only focusing on to a large extent and to some extent, the average of to a large extent and to some extent, you can see that increased anxiety around job security. 56% of the global average population say that 56% have increased anxiety around job security. 55% of the global average population say that Stress due to changes in work routines and organization. 50% say that admit that there is a difficulty in finding a work-life balance. 49% say that if they're working from home, they're feeling lonely or isolated when working from home. Reduced productivity. 46% of respondents admit that they are seeing reduced productivity. And 46% say that if they're working from home, it is difficulty getting work done at home due to inadequate home office setup or equipment. 45% say that there is stress due to family pressures, example, especially during childcare. And the remaining 44% say that working at unconventional hours, because you're mixing up your professional working hours and your personal, you're mixing up your professional work with your personal work. So you're hardly drawing any, line of difference between the two. So you're either forced to work early from the morning, or you might be asked to work even at the night. So these are some of the responses which were sought from the global respondents, the employees. Employees and executives don't see eye to eye. So this is another statistics that you're able to see. This was taken from Trending Insights, the article published by IBM Institute for Business Value. Employees and executives don't see eye to eye. So some of the perceptions or some of the ideas that employers or the organization thinks that it is doing is not actually the reality, because the ground reality is something else. If you ask the employees, they would give you a better picture. Employers, 74% employers say that they believe that their organization is helping staff learn the new skills needed to work in a new way. But 38% of the employees from the same organizations have told that it is not the case. 80% of the employees believe the organization is supporting the physical and emotional health of its workforce. But 46% of the employees only believe this. 86% of the employees believe the organization is providing clear guidelines and expectations for how our organization will work, while only 51% is agreeing to this. What happens with the remaining percentage of the respondents? That means they have disagreed. So looking at these statistics, organizations, it's never too late. Organizations need to start embracing these trends. They need to start. These trends are nothing but strategies. So once when you start embracing these strategies, you will make sure that you can be assured that you will continue to retain all your potential employees. Moving to the next trend, cloud-based HR systems. So what are these cloud-based HR systems? You know what is cloud computing? Cloud computing has not been a recent concept. It's been there from a few years. It has been there in a few years from now. So, but ever since this COVID-19 has started, companies have made huge investments in HR technology. So, cloud computing services. So, you talk about the ERP system that is in place. You talk about your intranet facility, the robust intranet facility that you have in place. Any kind of data, any kind of HR related information, or any corporate related information, you can access very easily today with the help of cloud computing. Cloud computing is nothing but the facilitation of information, adequate, reliable information that can be accessible by users from servers, storage systems, databases, etc., etc. So cloud-based HR system is given more emphasis today. Organizations who have not paid much attention to cloud computing technologies have started adapting themselves the cloud computing software systems. So especially it becomes very important when organizations start working very remotely, when you can't really exchange data physically. When the data is out of reach, you can always find it on the cloud. Cloud is nothing but the internet. So what are the reasons? Why do we need this cloud-based technology? So organizations which have so far resisted, be it even a small startup, or be it even a small business organization which has nothing to do more with technology, has today embraced technology. So, what are the reasons why you would need cloud based technology? To remain connected and updated with employees, access employee data in real time, track employee schedules, smoothen virtual communication, collaboration, and engagement, set agile goals, monitor employee performance, and provide feedback. You can implement right performance assessment and compensation systems, focus on workforce planning for uncertain situations, implement suitable training programs for employee development. So today, with the help of cloud-based technology, you don't have to rely on your supervisor, you don't have to rely on your peer group to get your work done. Okay, to know more about the organization, to know more about the policies, the practices followed in the organization. It's everything there. It's everything there on the cloud, and you can access the information at any point of time, given whichever location you're working from. The next trend is people analytics. People analytics, the data-driven method of studying people and processes, will continue to reign in 2021. So people analytics, because you're not meeting people, the only way that you can review their performance, or the only way you can understand what is the problem that they're going through, or what are their needs, what are their results, what are their deliverables, you will only be able to get all this information with the help of people analytics. Okay, a report given by Deloitte says that 71% of worldwide organizations have started considering human resources analytics. We are giving high priority for people analytics, not just because it is helping them with better business insights, but also it is helping them to better understand people problems. So for everything today, you could be conducting a survey to understand what are the problems faced by employees while they're working from home, or while they're working from remote locations. So based on the data, based on the survey that you conduct, proper analysis can be made. And depending upon this analysis, you will be able to make better decisions. Now, this people analytics is not just used in some part of the business or some part of your HR operations, but it is also used in several other areas, be it starting from recruitment to engagement to retainment, to why people exit your organization. Everywhere you can see that people analytics is today playing a very important role. People analytics will continue to drive value for organizations and optimize processes based on data. So CEOs and the leadership will be able to measure HR effectiveness. For what reasons? People analytics could be more useful for organizations today. One is they can easily measure HR effectiveness. How many people are working? How many people need to be put under a performance improvement plan? Okay, or how many people have improved their performance on a year-on-year basis? What is the revenue that the organization gets to spend per employee? What is the attrition rate? How do I bring down this attrition rate? Okay, what is the loss of training cost? Okay, and anything that is under the roof of the organization can be easily tracked, and it can be easily understood, easily interpreted with the help of people analytics or HR analytics. Moving forward, the next trend, the last but the second trend, virtual onboarding. So what is virtual onboarding? Attracting and hiring top talent has always been a priority for HR. So today, because with the pandemic that's still there, you can see that organizations gone is the concept where you will only find for people who are coming from particular locations, but you would now want to reach out to all those productive employees or prospective or potential employees who are spread across the globe. So even if you would want to hire somebody who is working, who is located in a different part of the world, you will still be able to access that talent with the help of virtual onboarding.
Rise of virtual hiring will give a complete digital experience to candidates. Okay, so virtual onboarding is another concept. It's another trend where gone are the days where even employees, from the candidates, from the job seekers perspective, they were very particular about getting jobs only from certain organizations located in certain locations, geographical locations. But today, with with the concept of remote working or work from home culture, you can see that employers are also becoming they are also becoming more exponential, and the job seekers are also becoming more exponential. They have stopped resisting from accepting offers coming from different locations, because all that you need to do is just have the talent and just be productive and produce your work from wherever you are. Because the ultimate goal of any organization is to get the results, and if you're able to deliver the results, no matter from which corner of the world you're working, it doesn't really matter. So this is another trend that organizations have started embracing. The last trend for the day is artificial intelligence in human resources. Artificial intelligence is nothing but it is the application of technology in such a way that whichever system you're using, it should be able to learn and produce the results that you would want the system to produce it on your behalf. So artificial intelligence has brought down a larger chunk of routine manual work that people have been doing in the past to a larger extent in the present. So artificial intelligence is one such boon that has improvised the personal lives, or that has augmented the lifestyle of people in their personal lives and also at their workplace. According to Oracle and Future Workplace, research conducted by them revealed that 50% of employees already utilize some form of AI at work, which is a huge increase from the 2018 figure at 32%. Now, what is the role of artificial intelligence in HR? Identifying potential causes for high employee turnover and exits, accelerating employee training and skill development through augmented and virtual reality, identifying high performers and suitable development needs and positions for them, finding most suitable keywords for advertising and open job positions, speeding up the recruitment process by spending less time searching for candidates while increasing the quality of new hires, enhancing candidate experience and engagement, enabling HR to track the pulse of employees by using employee engagement surveys, chatbots, etc. So I would like to give you a few examples over here. Artificial intelligence is of late used a lot in human resources, in the area of human resources. To just give you a few examples, the first area where artificial intelligence could be used in HR is candidate screening. So candidate screening, there are a lot of AI-based organizations which are developing AI tools that will help in streamlining candidates and only trying to top list the candidates who are more relevant to the job, depending upon the job description that the organization has prepared. So you don't really need any manual work over here. You just have to use the application, the AI, the AI supported application, and that will help you, depending upon whatever job specification and job description that you have generated. It will help you to streamline, and it will help you top list the best candidates whom you could be recruiting from. The next example that I would like to give you is mentoring facilitation. Mentoring facilitation is again possible through artificial intelligence. There is this AI powered app which is called as
Ellen, that is developed by a San Francisco-based organization called Next Play. Now, this particular app is an AI-powered application which will help you create mentoring. Which will help you create mentoring partnerships, and you don't have to really look forward for any mentoring partner, a physical partner, a human being. So you just have to get yourself associated with this, and then depending upon whatever is your caliber, whatever is the area where you need guidance, so this app facilitates you to get that necessary guidance. Okay, it's called Ellen. It's a San Francisco based application. And the other example that I would want to give you is video interview analysis. So companies would want to spend not much time on interviewing people. So what they would do is they would want to rely on the artificial intelligence enabled applications, or much of dependence on machine learning, which will help. So there are certain softwares, or there are certain applications which are available. One such company is called as Higher View Incorporation, which focuses on an AI-based technology where the application will help you to interview the candidate while using the voice and facial recognition technology, along with a ranking algorithm to see if the candidate is really a good fit or not. So with the help of artificial intelligence, you can see that there are a lot of organizations which are trying to incorporate some of these tools into the working of their system to make sure that there is much of incorporation of technology while you don't have enough workforce, or while you don't have enough manpower to take care of the recruitment process or the onboarding process, any process for that matter. You can see that artificial intelligence has become an emerging trend, and every other organization, to save time, it saves a lot of time, it saves a lot of energy, and helps the organization to focus more on strategic projects, to focus more on activities which mean a lot for the organization, rather than focusing on mundane activities which can otherwise be taken care by the technology. This way, with the implementation, or with the embracement of artificial intelligence and cloud-based technology, cloud-based computing, or whichever technology, sophisticated technology that you talk about, organizations today, they are able to save their time and invest their money, invest their time, their energy, their resources only on operations which are strategically, significantly important for the progress. Okay, so I would like to conclude by saying that the future of work has finally arrived. 2020 saw organizations embracing some of these new technologies, but we will very soon see many more technologies coming in the near future. So all these emerging trends that we just discussed about is not just going to remain in 2021 and be over in 2021, but they are going to continue even in the future. And we will be able to see a lot more new emerging technologies, which we will hopefully get to discuss some other day, if given a chance, in the future, to see how well organizations are going to embrace these technologies and grow fast forward. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Honorable resource person, ma'am, has very nicely cleared every aspect of top HR trends in Corona pandemic period, and she also talked about new emerging trends in HR and will be in future. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for giving this opportunity.
Now the topic is open for discussion, and participants are requested to take part in discussion by asking questions and if they are having any doubts.
Very good evening, ma'am.
Good evening, sir.
I'm Dr. Badiuddin Ahmed from Maulana Azad University, Hyderabad. So,
Good evening.
let me thank Dr. Berkal for today. I joined a bit lately because of the way of the topic I was set up. So it was a very good topic to really listen to, but I missed certain things. But despite the fact that how these challenges in the last word you said that we going to embrace the new techniques in 2022 or 2021 is almost going to be an again in 2022. So does it mean that the human resource is losing its importance in the future because of the upcoming technologies?
I didn't quite get that, sir. Can you please come again?
No, I mean to say that by having new technologies being introduced or likely to introduce in 2022, pandemic we have faced many problems, and we have introduced online programs. Everything got online. Now, when you said in the presentation that we will be going to embrace new technologies in the coming days, does it will be undermined?
No, sir. So, see, technology is something that needs to be embraced. That human resources are going to be undermined. They are never going to lose the opportunity, because when we talk about human resources, the touch of human interaction, or the presence of human touch is extremely important in every situation. So, but in order to make sure that all these regular activities that you can see, it could be even applying for a leave. I'm just giving you the example. Applying for a leave. Okay, you don't have to really wait for approval, or you don't have to really talk to your supervisor, discuss, and then take a decision. With the help of technology, from wherever you are, you can send messages, or you can even make sure that whatever you want. I'm not just talking in terms of one example, but any work that you would want to do, technology plays a very important role.
You mean to say that we need to supplement, the human resource needs to be supplemented by the technology, whatever technology is likely to come in the future also. Otherwise, we will have time trouble because we are not able to get our things done.
Yes, sir.
Am I right?
Because you see that the number of people who are getting recruited are also the organizations, the number of employees are growing in the organization. So if you want to cater to the needs of all these employees, you can't meet them, face to face. You could rather be conducting a survey that's called people analytics, right? So you could be accumulating data, and you could be figuring out what is the actual problem faced by the employee, or what are their concerns. So this one, a small HR team with 20 people or so, even if you're talking about an organization with a strength of 1,000 employees, and with just a HR team of 20 in a department, not all 20 can equally address all concerns of all employees. So, but with the help of people analytics, you can make you can bring down that effort, and at the same time, the data that you get is definitely realistic, and the interpretation that you can actually draw from your analysis with the help of all the statistical tools, whatever definitely going to be reliable.
But madam, at any point of time, you just this whatever you said, HR analytics or business analytics, whatever analytics you can use, people analytics. But this is for the all so top level people. But what about the shop floor level? What about the down who are working in the machine? They need to be trained. The training cost will go up.
Yes, sir. But that is the reason. One of the things that I just discussed was training and upskilling of employees. Of course, organizations need to invest. See, due to this pandemic, organizations have saved a lot of money. They don't have to really spend on the infrastructure anymore, because they are not calling the employees to work. So whatever employees are working extra hours, So that way you can see that employees, because they're working for extra hours, more number of projects they're able to complete, which means that there is more revenue generation happening for the organization. So from whatever profit that they generate, whatever money that gets accumulated, I think organizations will or they have already started investing in training and developing the employees at all the levels. So you can't really ignore that ignore the fact that you could only be focusing on some part of your employee workforce and ignore the other part of the employee workforce. I think it's time for the organizations to start investing more and more on training and developing not just the white collared workers but also the blue collared workers in some or the other way.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Badruddin sir, for taking active part in the discussion. Now, is there any question?
Hello. Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, Vidyasagar here. My query is there is two end about the professional development of employee. That is it important that cooperation of the cooperative environment among the employees is important, or the profit of the organization is important? How to make balance the professional development of employee and make the profitable of the organization? Thank you, ma'am. How to make balance between these points?
What is more profitable earning or people's development?
Okay, whether it is professional development of employees or profitability of the organization, which has to be given. That's your question, sir?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sure, sir.
Sir, both needs to be balanced. I cannot say that one aspect is more important over the other, because only if you can develop your employees, if you can be assured that your employees are growing in the right direction, which means your organization is also growing parallelly. So development of your employees will certainly lead to the development of your organization, which means these two things need to parallelly run alongside. I hope this answers your question, sir.
Madam, I a little bit disagree with you, because even you said in my reply, you said that organizations, by resorting to this online everything, they saved a lot, and they are investing into training and development. Issue is what you call software people. You ask them, their workload has been increased, their mental health got disturbed. You know how that cost? How do you measure that cost? See, online, you said the people, companies are saving a lot by using this technology, by saving the time of the employee, everything, but they are getting more work grabbing more work from the employees. In that process, the employees are getting mental health problem. Because HR is not that easy, it's very difficult. On one side, when you say that these other consequences of this also need to be given importance, and the profit is subject to the mental health. As long as your employees are healthy, you cannot expect, you cannot think of profitability. What is my presumption?
No, sir. I think you cannot be sure of the growth of your organization.
But we also mentioned that during this pandemic, the technology has helped a lot. Yes, everybody, work has not been suffered. But what is the reason why of course, slightly, you may be a chairperson, but the impact was not quite positive of this. See, the GDP of the country has gone down. Had it been the very fruitful one, it could have been generated, at least not a very enormous GDP. It should have been a positive. We got 24% negative GDP, because human beings are very, very important. If they are not being maintained properly, you cannot think of economic growth. Social element is very important. What do you think?
Yes.
What do you think?
So that is the reason this has to be one of the trend, sir. I think HR professionals, organizations need to start focusing more on their human resources. So that's why one of the trend that I spoke about was the well-being of the employees. So this will continue to grow even in the future. Organizations will start focusing more and more on employee well-being.
That's good. That's right.
Yes, sir.
But the very disadvantage of this, what you said in technology, the human interaction, interface is really lacking. The empathy part is really lacking. What do you say, Madam?
Yes, sir. That is the reason I told you. See, earlier, we had this concept of organizational hierarchy where the supervisory level of the organization could hardly interact with the top leaders, the decision makers, the strategic owners of the organization. But today, you can see that the top leaders are coming down to the ground level and they are trying to talk and understand what is happening to the employees at the ground level. They are interacting face to face, over the web or over, these online virtual platforms, trying to understand the reasons. They are trying to understand their personal status, what is happening in and out in their life. So I think things have started changing, sir.
It's a Mahindra company in India. Mahindra and to some extent, this Asian Paints. Most of the companies have, either they have